How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sick Eric TV. Today we're going to be going on over a spec comparison between two great Motorola devices. We got the new Motorola Edge 2021 and we got the Motorola One Ace 5G. Both of these are 5G phones around the mid-range price point. The Motorola One Ace comes in a little bit cheaper than the $499 Motorola Edge 2021. We're going to be going on over the specs, a little bit of camera samples in there side by side, and we're going to be talking about these two devices today, comparing them side by side. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. We're going to dive down and get a closer view of these. Before we do, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon, that way you get notified on my future videos. So let's jump down into it. Spec comparison, Motorola Edge 2021 and the Motorola One Ace 5G. Let's go. Alright everybody, so let's go ahead and jump down into it, shall we? Spec comparison, Motorola Edge 2021 versus the Motorola One Ace 5G. And we're going to go over the specs, and let's go ahead and jump down and get into it. Both really great devices from Motorola. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck here with these two excellent devices. We're going to start off with the Motorola Edge 2021. This phone just came out not too long ago. A couple days ago was the September 2nd official release of this device. I got this a little bit sooner. And of course this phone came out in about January, so it's a little bit older, but still Motorola Ace is still a great phone. Let's go on over the size. Over here on the Motorola Edge, you get a 6.65 inches tall, 2.9 inches wide, and 0.35 inches thick. So it is a nice feeling phone. It's a little bit thinner than the Ace over here. The Ace comes in about 6.54 tall, 3.00 inches wide, and about 0.39 inches thick. So it's a little bit thicker than the Edge over here, not by much, but still a little bit. And it's a little bit wider, again, not by much. Both similar sizes. The Edge coming in a little bit taller of a display. Going on over to the display over here on the Edge, you get a 6.7 inch LCD 144 hertz panel, guys. HDR10, 1080 by 2460 at about 401 pixels per inch. It's covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so a very, very excellent display over here on the Moto Edge 2021. Going on over to the Ace over here, you get a 6.7 inch LTPS IPS LCD display. Also supports HDR10, 1080 by 2400. It is only a 60 hertz display over here on the Ace, but it's still an excellent panel. You get 393 pixels per inch, and it does not specify what kind of Gorilla Glass it is coated in. It might be Gorilla Glass 3 or 4, considering the price point of this device. One Ace over here is still running Android 10, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and go into About Phone, and let's see. Software variant, yeah, it's only running Android 10, while over here on the Edge it is running Android 11. Snapdragon 778G 5G over here on the Edge. Over here on the Ace, you get a Snapdragon 750G 5G as well. Adreno 619 on the Edge, and Adreno 642 on the Motorola Edge over here. Over here on the Edge, you get 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. No micro SD card support on the Edge, unfortunately. Over here on the Ace, you get a 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and you do have micro SD card support over here on the Ace, which is fantastic. But over here, you do get more storage, so not having a micro SD card is okay. As long as you get enough storage. I don't think it's fine if you get a 128 gigabyte phone with no micro SD card. That is a little bit annoying, but both of these are really great. You get a water repellent design over here on both of these. So no official IP rating, but it does have a water repellent design. Of course, no IP68 water and dust resistance, but still try to keep these out of the rain. Light rain will do okay, but do not go swimming or drop these in the toilet because you might be screwed. The camera side, now this is where things get interesting. Motorola stepped it up this year with the Edge in their camera department. So you're going to have a main sensor of 108 megapixels, aperture of f1.9, and it does have a PDAF. And the ultra wide is an 8 megapixel aperture of f2.2. And it does have autofocus. You also get a 2 megapixel depth sensor with an aperture of f2.4. Front facing camera is one of Motorola's largest front facing cameras. It is a 32 megapixel camera with an aperture of f2.3. It does support HDR. You could record 4K front and back on the Edge 2021, so that is really nice to see. I like when manufacturers include 4K on the front facing camera. Over here on the Ace, you get a 48 megapixel main sensor, aperture of f1.7. You also get PDAF, 8 megapixel ultra wide, aperture of f2.2, and then you get a 2 megapixel macro camera with autofocus, aperture of f2.4. Front facing camera is going to be a 16 megapixel camera, aperture of f2.2. HDR over here as well. The only downside over here on the Ace is you can only record 4K on the rear. Front facing camera records at 1080p 30 frames per second. So the cameras on here very similar, and both actually really good cameras. Motorola stepped it up this year with the Edge and adding that 108 megapixel, but you're probably going to be seeing some camera comparisons and side-by-side photos taken on both of these devices. But cameras are very strong on here considering the price point. Very impressed with both of these actually. Video quality about the same. Stabilization over here on the Edge is a little bit off, but the Motorola Ace does have very good video, and they both take really good pictures, so you won't be disappointed either way of whichever one you pick. This one has the higher advantage over here with that 108 megapixels, but as we all knew, no, it's not about the megapixels, it's about the processing. Both of these do not have, well, actually the Ace over here does have a headphone jack, while the Edge over here does not. No stereo speakers, both bottom firing speakers. I found that the Edge sounds a lot better than the Motorola Ace. This phone tends to distort a little bit when it's at high volume. It just does not sound too good, and I was really impressed with the speaker quality of the Edge 2021. We're going to go ahead and play a little speaker test for you. That way you get an idea of how each one of these sound. Alright, so which one did you like better? Which one sounded better to you? Like I said, I think the speaker quality over here, despite being a single firing speaker, sounds really good on the Edge. Here on the Motorola Ace, you get Bluetooth 5.1. It does not specify whether or not it's different Wi-Fi as far as Wi-Fi 6. Over here you get Bluetooth 5.2, USB Type-C 2.0 on both of these, so that is great. You get a USB charger at the bottom, obviously, of course. Really great. Fingerprint sensors are mounted a little bit differently. You get your rear mounted fingerprint on the Ace over here. It is a pretty fast fingerprint sensor, so it does a job pretty well. On the Motorola Edge, you get a side mounted fingerprint sensor, which is located in the power button, and it is a really snappy sensor. You also do get facial recognition over here on the Edge as well. Let's go ahead and test that out. See, it's already unlocked. So facial recognition on both of these. Fingerprint sensors, it's pretty much preference on which one you prefer, a rear mounted or a side mounted into the power button. Volume rockers are pretty much located in about the same area with the power button over here on the Ace. So very nice. Both very comfortable devices to hold. Both of these do have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, guys, so battery life is definitely going to be an all-day battery life on both of these. The advantage over here on the Edge is you do get 30-watt fast charging with the charger in the box. Over here on the Ace, you only get 15-watt fast charging, but you still get a charger in the box, so that is always great to hear. Battery life on both of these is about equal. You could definitely get a full day and then some of battery life on here, so that is really excellent to see. Motorola stepped it up with the 30-watt charging over here. It's not the fastest in the world, but it's still really good, and it's really fast compared to the charging over here on the Ace. No wireless charging on either one of these, so that is a bummer, but it's okay considering the price point of both of these devices. You do not get wireless charging. Over here on the Edge, you only get one color I think that they're offering, which is Nebula Blue. Over here on the Ace, you get Volcanic Gray and Frosted Silver, and this is the Volcanic Gray. Keep in mind, this is the T-Mobile variant of the Ace, so very nice color. Pretty basic design on the Ace, while over here on the Edge, they definitely stepped it up in the design department. Let's go ahead and lock both of these. So yeah, they stepped it up in the design department on the new Edge. It looks a lot more premium. Both plastic backs, of course, and plastic frames. But the Edge just feels a lot more comfortable, and it's a little bit lighter than the Ace over here. The Ace is a very bulky, heavy phone. Both of these displays are flat. No always-on displays, of course, on both of these since they are LCD panels. But they do have the little peak display, which is cool, and then you long press on your notifications and you will get little previews up top, which is really cool, and then you can dismiss those as well. So I really do like their little peak display on Motorola. Very nice. You also do get your typical Motorola perks on here. You get all your Motorola stuff on here, your gestures, your display settings, your personalization. So very nice on both of these. Gestures on these devices are really nice, and you could do so much with the gestures over here. You got your quick capture, power touch over here on the Edge, fast flashlight with the karate chop on both of these. So very nice, very fun to play with. There we go. Karate chop on both of these. Flip for do not disturb, pick up to silence. You do get some extra stuff over here on the Edge with that newer software like the power touch. To turn that on, you just tap on the power button and it will bring up a little side menu, which is really cool. So gestures on Motorola phones, I'm finding that I'm really liking a lot. Like Motorola really does it really well with their gestures and implementing stuff like that. The only downside over here on the Ace is the gestures for navigation are built into the home launcher. So if you were to install Nova Launcher or something on the Ace, it sort of kills your navigation gesture. So you have to come up with a way to install fluid navigation over here, and it requires the computer a lot with ADB. And once you get it set up, everything starts to work really well once you get everything set up with fluid navigation. And over here on the Edge, the gestures are not built into the home launcher, so you are able to download and install Nova Launcher without it messing up with the gestures. And I have to say that it does work really well. It does not mess with the gestures or anything. Works flawlessly if you download and install Nova Launcher on the Edge. So I'll give that to the Edge, making it a lot easier to use third-party launchers over the Ace. It was just a pain in the butt over here with the Ace. So yeah, two really great devices. You could get the Edge right now for about $499. It probably will go up to $699, which I think is just a little bit too much for this device. $499 is a sweet spot over here. The Ace over here, I got this for just under $300 on T-Mobile. So very great pricing on both of these. As you can see, the bezels on here are about the same. I do prefer the cutout over here on the Edge. It just looks a lot cleaner and a lot nicer than it does on the Ace. The Ace sort of looks like a little bit fuzzy around the camera cutout, and the Edge is a little bit cleaner and just a tad bit smaller on that front facing camera. Bezels, as you could see, pretty much almost the same. They are not thin bezels by any means, but you do get a flat display. A lot of people do like flat displays over curved displays. For me, I prefer curved, but it's not a huge deal. Displays on both of these are really nice. You get 144 Hertz compared to only 60 Hertz on the Ace. So display over here is a little bit better on the Edge, but considering the fact that I was having some issues with the display over here, they're not that serious, and the display tends to flicker over here on the Edge, while over here on the Ace, display is absolutely fine and perfect. LCD panels, so no always on displays. I would have preferred AMOLED on both of these, but it is what it is. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video of the spec comparison between the new Moto Edge 2021 and the Moto One 5G Ace over here. Both really great devices and some of Motorola's latest devices over here. So really nice bang for your buck, and Motorola is definitely kicking it out of the park. Maybe trying to take up LG's place, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, two really great devices. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.